Welcome to Chronic Combat Conversations, a live look at our best bets, picks, and predictions for every UFC event. With your hosts, TB Scouting MMA and
The Guru, back again. Bonjour for UFC Paris 2. Ciryl Gane taking on Serghei Spivac in your heavyweight fight. Great fight. And you've got Manon Fiorot taking on Rose Namajunas, moving up for the first time in her career, the former two-time champion. Unbelievable fights that we have in the middle of the afternoon for us, right? For us US dwellers. Can't wait to get it into this one. Just me and TB today, about to rock it. And yeah, we got our baguettes, we got our wine, we're ready to rock.
Bienvenue. It is the UFC Paris 2. Before we get started, the one thing that I ask from you is please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Means a lot, helps recommend our show to everybody. And if you haven't followed already, I mean, come on. The best bets, the best guests, always free picks. You know, when we bring someone on, it's going to be some fire guests. So it's just me and the Guru today. Had a little last minute, here or there, but I really appreciate you guys still joining us today. So make sure you comment your best bet in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking, and shout out our boy Daz, always supporting everybody in the community. Hit the like, let's go. And Anthony, appreciate your time, my dude. So without further ado, what you people came for, we're not going to waste any time further. We got the main event. It's the heavyweight fight between Ciryl Gane and Serghei Spivac. And oh man, do we have a tale of two fights and how this one could play out. We got Gane at minus 170 as the favorite, Serghei Spivac at plus 142, over 2.5 at plus 130, under 2.5 at minus 166. Ciryl Gane's going to be 5 years older. He's 1 inch taller, has a 3-inch reach advantage, and most importantly, he's someone that actually knows how to use said reach advantage. Looking at how this fight breaks down, it's pretty binary. I think if you got two eyes and know how to watch the UFC, you can figure, Ciryl Gane going to be a high-level distance striker, kickboxer, but has great combinations with the hands as well. In and out movement, circles the cage well, elusive, front kicks, leg kicks, head kicks, every single type of strike you can think of. Ciryl Gane has it in his arsenal and can throw it at a high level. The questions that we've seen is, when he steps up to the highest moment against Francis Ngannou, a bit of a brain fart round 5 and falters down the stretch, shows up against the GOAT, John Jones, and falters immediately. So the question here is, the guy got right back in the gym. So is he ready for the polar bear, Serghei Spivac, who, that physique in that picture doesn't even do him justice. Dude has looked completely different since coming over to the U.S., training at Extreme Couture and with Dewey Cooper in Vegas. So I got to say, his hands have looked improved. I think his in and out movement and his defensive backwards movement have gotten a little bit better, along with the athleticism for Spivac. And clearly, if anyone has a wrestling advantage in this matchup, it would be him. I am worried, is the athleticism from the Gane side going to be too much? Guru, what are you feeling here, my friend?
Man, what an interesting fight. One that the matchmakers, right? That was one of the biggest things that I was trying to figure out from like a narrative point of view. UFC Paris, right? They put Ciryl Gane on the main event. They're putting Manon Fiorot on the co-main, right? They're pushing their French products. But then you give them this matchup. Last time they were in Paris, he's a minus 700 favorite to Tai Tuivasa. Now all of a sudden they're giving him are they giving him the Andy dropping Woody, I'm done playing with you toy treatment? Are they done with their new toy here? Are they giving this young up and coming wrestler an opportunity to steal the thunder? Not to use the same type to Ivasa again, but Serghei Spivac went down under, went to Australia, and as an underdog took out Tai Tuivasa. So he's not afraid to go into enemy territory and get it done. Man, this is the big thing, right? Everybody and their grandma watched Ciryl Gane get out-grappled by Ngannou. Everybody and their mom watched Ciryl Gane get out-grappled by John Jones. Yet the line is still minus 170 Ciryl Gane. So it's like, are we convinced that, right? Is the market overreacting? Is it possible the market's overreacting? Or is it more possible that there's actually value here on Serghei Spivac? that's like the meta game where I'm just kind of struggling because in the tape, Serghei Spivac to me seems like he won't really care too much about some pitter patter leg kicks and a couple counters. I felt like he's gonna barrel forward and keep shooting takedowns, right? I mean, you saw it versus Derek Lewis. Like the whole reason why I thought Derek Lewis might get a bonk versus him is that I thought while closing the distance and Derek Lewis getting back up, like eventually Serghei would get clipped. Like he didn't care. And he just kept going. He scored 5 takedowns versus Derek Lewis and eventually gets the sub. Ciryl Gane is obviously athletic, but I don't know that he's got great get up game or anything. The big problem I've had with Spivac is that he doesn't have great top control, like consolidation, which is why he's got to get 5 takedowns versus Derek Lewis. Like TB said, I think this fight is fairly binary in that if this fight stays at range and Serghei can't get takedowns, he's fucked. And if Ciryl Gane can't keep him at range and can't keep him off him and stay on his feet and stuff takedowns, then he's fucked. And it's very simple that way. I think you'll see very quickly into the fight, 2-3 minutes in, like which side was right or not.
Yeah, I think we get right down into it.
With all that being said, like I gotta take the dog shot just because like I think wrestling's the most important skill set in MMA. And I think that Gane needs to put him out. Like he's gonna need to stop Spivac to stop the wrestling onslaught. And I don't know that he really stops anybody. He stopped Tai Tuivasa in round 3. He takes his time. He went to decision with didn't he go to decision with Tanner Boser? And I mean, he just went to decision with. He took round 3 to what's his name? Mays, Dontel Mays.
Yeah, it was the last second heel hook.
Decision with Rosenstrike. Rosenstrike, who's somebody that's like kill or be killed. He's a total glass cannon, and he couldn't do anything with him because he was too afraid of the shot. Don't you think that some of Ciryl Gane's offense is going to be stifled, especially the kicks where he's best, by being worried about the takedown? Because it's not like he's just going to jab his face off. What Ciryl Gane does best is his kicks. That's what makes him the best heavyweight striker of all time. Not his boxing. It's his kicking, right?
I mean, he does a little bit of everything. His hands
I mean, come on. I mean,
but if you take away
if you take away his footwork and his kicking, like if he's just a boxer, I don't think he's the best striker that he is.
Right. So, all right. Ultimately, you got to what I wanted to touch on, and that was the kicking game of Ciryl Gane and how he uses it to really break down his opponents over time. And yeah, all striking, no wrestling. Take that underdog money, the under 2.5 or 3.5 looking nice. Yeah, I think either way, because Ciryl Gane, if he gets the body kicks working here, the switch stance, open stance, body kicks to the liver. I mean, Serghei Spivac, that's kind of where you could slow him down is if you land those body shots or, if you can stifle his takedown offense and keep him at range. I think his striking has improved, but once again, it gives you the opportunity to work from distance. But where I think this is why I fully ended up on the dog Spivac here is that Ciryl Gane throws a lot of kicks, and Spivac is actually shown to be proficient at catching kicks, even leg kicks, and using that to his advantage to get a takedown. Jared Vanderaa, I know it's Jared Vanderaa, but he throws the leg kick, and that's what gets caught and leads to the first takedown for Spivac in that fight. A lot of other guys aren't willing to take that chance, especially at heavyweight. We don't have as many leg kickers, but anytime that we've seen someone kind of throw those kicks and not, find the sweet spot on Serghei, which to give him credit here, he made his debut against Walt Harris on a bit of short notice, right? And then his other, Tybura, that's a big dude to face when you look like he looks like in this picture here, since he made his improvements, his other losses to Tom Aspinall, I think he's got more finishing potential than Ciryl Gane. So I got Spivac here. But yeah, if anything, I do like the idea of the under. It's just that we're getting under 2.5 at -166. And that's where I got to take a pause and just say, you know what? Like, I'd rather take the dog shot on the guy who does have a clear path. So I think we broke this one down to its full exhaustion. Ciryl Gane clearly has a path, but going with the dog shot here in Serghei Spivac.
It's so interesting that Ciryl Gane clearly has the higher strength of schedule, but when you look at quality wins, right? They both beat Tai Tuivasa. they both beat Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like those are the big wins. I mean, you've got to give credit to Gane for beating Volkov and Junior Dos Santos, but you'd have to imagine Serghei Spivac fighting Jairzinho Rosenstrike. Like, I mean, unless he gets bonked in the first 20 for the first 2 minutes, like he's gonna finish him in the first 2 minutes. So I don't know. I kind of like that fight too, if somehow Serghei loses. But hey,
fair enough.
Yeah, I like the dog shot here. Can't hate it. And if that's the other thing with Gane, and then we will move on, right? Gone with the
God,
the training, right? The training stuff, playing FIFA, and just kind of like being aloof about his training has just been generally, I don't know, a question mark for me throughout his whole.
Apparently, after the Jones fight, he was back in the gym and taking things a little more seriously. Apparently, that's what he said at media day.
What else are you going to say? You're right. After the Jones fight, I decided that I really could never be champion. FIFA.
Last time he said he plays FIFA, so this time he said he was training. I mean, I'll at least give him that. All right. Anyways, what I promised a couple minutes ago, we're moving on to our next fight here. We got the co-main event, the flyweight matchup here. We got Manon Fiorot versus Rose Namajunas, minus 185 for the French women. Plus 154 for the white power lady, and we've got
French, but she's like German, isn't she?
I don't know. She seems pretty French to me. Over 2.5 at minus 210, under 2.5 at plus 160. Totally yeah, she's totally French. Anyways,
that German face. Close countries.
The big question here, Jesus, Rose moving up to 125. I kind of get it though. I feel like she does have a longer frame and the ability to kind of pack on a bit more muscle. She was a bit like, slim man style, like the snake, the serpent monster from Monsters Inc. Like the Juliana Miller build, like a little lankier. But I feel like if she could fill out here at 125, Rose could have some success. From an offensive wrestling standpoint, from a striking standpoint, I think she'll be quicker than some of these other fighters at the 125 division. I think it'll be interesting here to see against Manon Fiorot, who's kind of used her athleticism, her length, and her advantage is kind of like from a game planning perspective to get out ahead of these other lower level fighters at 125. Fiorot, I mean, she does what she does really well. It's just I feel like it's a little bit more of a limited overall arsenal. It's some front kicks, it's some side kicks, and then she'll throw some leg kicks, and then it's like a hook here, a 1-2 there, but things don't necessarily get put together in like 3-4 punch like 3-4-5 strike combos, where I feel like she's much more happy to land 1 or 2 or land that 1 to maintain her range and then get back at distance and play it safe. Like that's where she really gets ahead on the numbers, frustrating smaller fighters. I think she is a really good striker in that perspective. And then she's able to mix in level changes and takedowns, control when necessary. I don't think a lot of that works here in this fight. I think Rose throws in more combination when she's fighting someone that's willing to bring the fight to her. She's ready to bang. I mean, listen, to go rounds with Andrade and come out victorious, to go rounds with Zhang Weili, and you want to say what you want to say about that decision.
I want to say what I want to say.
She made it there. She lost, but she won 2 of the rounds. Clearly,
I mean, she won 2 of the rounds. The fucking judges,
right? But I'm gonna say she clearly won 2 of the rounds. So, listen, I'm gonna say that Rose, she's given up a little bit of height here. She's not giving up any reach. I think she's gonna have the quickness advantage. Fiorot coming off of knee surgery where she completely tore a couple ligaments, got reconstruction. It's been the 10-month period where you can get back to it, but it's a 3-round fight. If she's got to get a little bit of her footing under her in the first round, she can get kind of put back at a disadvantage. And I think Rose has shown she's able to fight defensively for 1, and 2, she's got a bit of her own power. I don't know how much it carries over to 125. I'm the best. But I like Rose here as the dog. I'm going dog shot again. Shout out everyone in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking here.
Send some likes.
Ghost Phantom, Air Dog, Blood Money, Cody the Goat, and Zach, our boy, 4 Ounce of Freedom. Make sure you're following all these amazing people. Most importantly, if you haven't thrown a like yet, do so, as the Guru so kindly reminds us. And Guru, what do you got on this fight, man?
Man, what a crazy fight. I mean, again, line wise, metagame wise, Like, to quote my boy Die Hard, like, y'all must have forgot. Like, what's up with this line? You've got Rose Namajunas, former champ, at plus 150. Why? Because she's moving up weight? She's younger. Manon Fiorot is used to having a size advantage. She doesn't really have such a big size advantage here. I feel like this is going to be one of those fights you're going to see face-offs. You're going to be like, wait a minute, I thought Fiorot was going to be so much bigger. And she's not going to be. Um, you haven't seen Rose as this big of dog since the first Weili fight where she knocked her out via head kick. Like, you don't get Rose at this price. It doesn't exist in basically her fight career. So this is a really, really interesting number. And in my mind, I don't necessarily see a finish here, right? Like, you think Manon Fiorot is going to knock out Rose Namajunas? If you do, sure, go pay that 2-1. Go right ahead, dog. And if you don't, like I don't, and this fight's going to go the distance, then it's going to be too close for comfort to lay on a minus 200 that's never fought this level of competition. She drops the first round to Chikagian. She fights Jennifer Meyer, who's low output and very one-track minded with boxing. And then Buena Silva was, that's her best win, dog. Buena Silva's your best win. Come on, man. She's seeing little pink Christina Aguilera monsters. So shout out. You got to know old school South Park to get that reference. I feel like what would the line be if Rose, let's say the Carla fight didn't even happen, right? Let's just erase it from memory. She's champ. She decides to vacate the belt, move up, whatever. Crazy things. Is she still plus 150? I don't think so. I think it's a little bit of hate. I think Fiorot has the better chance to get it done of the two French, the main and the co-main, even though the line doesn't say so. I think that this goes the distance. I think it's going to be split. I think it's going to be close. I think the one wrinkle, the really one big positive that Manon Fiorot, if she's smart, will do, clinch the fuck out of Rose. Don't let her dance on you in a 30-foot cage. And she's got like a 50% takedown accuracy, Fiorot does. Use it. Show up and do something that nobody's expecting you to do.
But give the caveat to that. What's going to happen if Manon tries to just go for like top control?
I mean, she's probably going to get sub from bottom if she makes a mistake. I mean,
but
just to mix it up and scoring. I'm not saying you're trying to Khabib and stay on top,
right?
But you have Rose all concerned about defending takedowns, whatever, and she's eating. Again, like I'm saying, I think it's going 3 rounds. I don't want a 2-1 favorite here. I'm taking the dog with a much higher level of competition. That's it. Otherwise, like, I don't hate either people taking the French, anybody taking the French favorites in these first 2 fights. I really don't. I just I'm feeling froggy. Like, let's go dogs.
Wow. We got the toad. Is it Ilir Latifi? Because he's feeling froggy. Look out.
I'm feeling froggy.
I love it. Yeah. Couple dogs here. I think we're at least getting one. That's profitable to me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the other fun part of it, right? You place even units on both of these dogs here. You go 1-1. You do make money. That is how that works.
Oh yeah. And I got to say, listening to Rose at the press conference, she understands how horrible her last fight was. She gets why people didn't like it. And, I think she's probably going to come out to make a little bit more of a statement. I think the mental game of knowing Carla had beaten her, but, in the past was also another big thing that stood out. And she was kind of doing everything she could to avoid the outcome of that prior fight. And when she got taken down by Zhang Weili 5 times out of 11, she only got control for 3 total minutes in a 5-round fight. So I think Rose is not just going to be controlled by Manon Fiorot.
No,
and I think the size discrepancy is not really going to be significant.
Right, and TB, you kind of highlighted on a bunch of those different things there between strength of schedule and the grappling stats, because I came in the week on Fiorot. I was like, oh, this is the one that they're pushing. But hey, what's the split decision prop? Do we got a number on that? I'm anything above plus 400, and I'm in for a grandma's couch cushion.
I mean, that is a pretty solid idea. I could totally see this fight going, and I could see it being sketchily close. So,
It's
do you
literally
have?
plus 400 exactly.
All right. I mean, it's worth a little. It could be a
I
sprinkle,
wish it was
right?
plus 450 or plus 500, but I think at minus 175, more often than not, it's going the distance.
The
So what
distance.
the distance? So why not play plus 400 here,
That's it.
little grandma?
Shout out all you guys in the chat. Still haven't put a bet on Rose, but seemingly leaning that way. Air Dog, yeah, hell yeah. I laid it out. Got
Hey,
plus
yeah,
164
yeah. I was
even.
about to say we got plus 164, and now it's plus 154. So we're happy for a little bit of 10
Yeah,
cents of movement there,
that's
and I
it.
think it's going to get a little closer. And all I see is people picking Fiorot, not for nothing. Like I see tons of people on Fiorot, but I see the line getting
Yeah,
closer and closer. So
that's
yeah,
it.
now.
Well, talk about some line movement. We got our another we got Benoit Saint Denis versus Thiago Moises. I'm sorry. We definitely have some really good nicknames here, and I feel like I'm just messing up today from
Yeah,
that
why
perspective.
you could start putting the nicknames into the slideshow. You've got the God of War
Yes.
versus nothing. Just Thiago Big Forehead Moises. I mean,
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
I like
I'm
that.
fucking talking with a big ass forehead, but
Hey, listen, we're all about throwing stones in a glass house on Chronic Combat, but we got Saint Denis at minus 162, Moises at the Red Sea, Thiago the Red Sea Moises plus 136, Moses himself. We appreciate him. But Saint Denis here over 2.5 minus 105, under 2.5 minus 125. What I come away with breaking down this fight is just looking at how Santini typically wins his matchups. I mean, everything's by finish, and it's by finish early. And it's not that I think his cardio is bad, and I don't think he's like necessarily a bad fighter if he gets extended. But I think it's kind of like he either exerts his will, makes it happen his way, and breaks his opponent, or it's the Zaleski dos Santos fight where he's up a weight class, getting pummeled, and actually survives going the distance and like lands a lot more than I remembered. Round it was a little bit closer. Like Zaleski's getting rocked a few times. So I got to give Santini all the credit in the world. And I just
but
think
it's
it's a
and
bit of
you
an
know what's crazy about that fight? It's what's
what's crazy.
crazy about that fight. It's like it's not just your typical weight class. It's a 15-pound gap, not a 10-pound gap. Like he's
Mm.
such a sick fuck.
That is exact, and it was on short notice too. And for him to survive like that, just incredible. And Thiago Moises, I think he's got really good striking defense. He's got powerful leg kicks, flashy, quick head kicks with no tell. He's got fast hands. He can land counters well. He has a good guard, parries, but ultimately it's like you can try to play a pretty fight game all you want, but Benoit Saint Denis is going to turn it into a fucking war. So if you're not ready for that, and as we saw against Joel Alvarez, as we saw, I mean, Islam, he puts up a bit of a fight, but Islam's not the type of guy like Khabib where he's like pummeling and bringing the world. Santini is going to be throwing ripping body kicks. I mean, 1 minute into the fight with Bonfim's side is just absolutely lit up. It's just like we also see Gabriel Miranda land some interesting, like spinning back fist, a few other kind of crazy strikes on Santini where Santini's like stumbled. But once again, you can't put this man out. So it's Thiago Moises by decision is plus 330, or Benoit Saint Denis round 1 is plus 275, and Benoit Saint Denis round 2 is plus 500. If you place small bets on each of those and you hit one of them, you did the right thing. And that's the three ways that this fight plays out according to TB. So take it to grandma's couch, dig in there, find a few
Yeah.
dimes, and put Benoit round 1,
Yeah.
Benoit round 2, and Thiago. Maybe even Thiago like decision only, and that would be minus 120.
That's the line on decision only?
That's fire, right?
No, that's exactly what I wanted. I can't even believe that they're letting that happen. That's
It's
insane.
unbelievable. They're letting it happen. They're letting us
I
get away with it.
unless I'm really missing something, right? This is the Twitter talk of the week, right? Benoit Saint Denis. One of the only people I know who was on him over Ishmael Bonfim was my guy TB over there.
This
I mean,
motherfucker right over here.
like
Benoit Saint
nobody
Denis
was
plus
on him.
200.
So when you get him at plus 200 in his last fight and he dominates, now all of a sudden he's a heavy favorite, minus 170 favorite against a top 15 guy, top 20 guy. This is a really, really interesting and crazy matchup because, like you said, Benoit Saint-Denis is somebody that needs to come forward, crash forward, is absolutely violent, devastating striker. And Moises is like really technical and not really known for violent finishes like this guy Saint-Denis is. It's just not the same. So at the same time, like you're saying, I love this decision only play because I feel like if it's going deep, then Saint Denis is not having his way because his way is God of War. I'm pummeling you. And if it's going the distance, then I think Moises is hurting him with counters and he's slowing down, or Moises is working his own grappling game and Saint Denis is not able to get his offensive submission game rolling. And let's be real, I don't know what Islam Makhachev was doing necessarily in the Moises fight. Was he, it was in that time where Islam hadn't fought a lot, so was he really just trying to get some cage time in? Did he feel no pressure, so he was just hanging out on the ground there? I'd like to give Moises his credit for hanging in there till round 4. That's at least kind
He
of
also landed a takedown
on Islam.
On Islam. So if anyone's winning a control wrestling decision, like it could potentially be Thiago.
I have a money line shot on Saint Denis at minus 145. I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest. It's probably who I'm going to end up picking to win the fight. But do I want a money line bet or do I want to take TB's approach, which I kind of like?
FE, what up, brother? He dumped Islam. That was crazy. Amen. And yeah, are you crazy, man? I think you got to do. It's all about the sprinkles in this fight because there's a little bit of sketchiness baked in here for me. I'm feeling,
Absolutely, because even if he's the right side, even if Saint Denis somehow pulls it out, like it's the overcorrection on the line. Like, I mean, he's gonna have to get a finish to deserve the line that he's got.
Right. Well, that's why I'm picking Saint-Denis, but I'm not playing the money line. Just I got plus 200 last time against Bonfim. Now I'm getting minus 162 against Moises, who's like fringe top 15. There's no shot, man. Not in this economy. I'm not doing that. So I gotta be smart with where I'm making my investments. So I gotta make sure I place all these bets on Contender Series. But all right, anyways, just kidding. Here we go. We're on Dayton White Contender Series 2.0, UFC Paris 2. We're almost at the prelims.
What a crazy card, honestly.
Crazy. So Saint-Denis is a pick here, but be careful what you do.
I like Saint-Denis here. I definitely want to see face-offs, things like that. In his hometown, man, he's gonna come out fucking swanging and banging. He should get it done. But I like that decision only. That's interesting. That's an interesting thought.
Yo, I gotta call you guys out. You guys are amazing in the chat. But if you haven't thrown a like already, like I could clearly see there's more people in here than have thrown likes. So make sure you go ahead. Make sure you go ahead. Please just throw a like. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps us out a ton.
Subscribe and share it around. Listen, if you already shared, and if you already subscribed, you already liked, why not share it out, man? You don't even know who might click it.
Grandma's waiting, Anywho, we got the next fight here. I did, sir. We got Volkan, no time, Oezdemir, and I called Zach amazing. I did it. I did the thing. Volkan Oezdemir, no time, Oezdemir versus Bogdan Noho Guskov, or Saravich is his actual nickname, but the TB nickname, it's Bogdan Noho Hank Guskov, or it's Anthony Lionheart Smith putting on a disguise for the following week.
What is
it's one of the two. Okay, have you ever watched Barry on HBO Max?
No.
All right, so
it's just Barry, it's just Max now. Get it right, you plebeian.
Jesus. But anyways, yeah, it's definitely Noho Hank on the right there. That's not Bogdan Guskov. Anyways, so Volkan coming in here, minus 185. Guskov, plus 154. Over 1.5 at plus 114. Under 1.5 at minus 145. Looking into Bogdan's regional matchups, looking into Bogdan's tape, I mean, you put those guys out there and you put someone that's a relatively good athlete, they're going to do what Bogdan did. Then you throw him against the 33-8, 38-year-old. I forget his name. I would have to look at it again. But anyways, the dude's like rocking him with jabs.
Vyacheslav
Vasilevsky. That was it.
Yeah.
Vyacheslav Vasilevsky.
Decent job.
Thank you,
Guru.
You got me there, though. I appreciate you. Bogdan attacks your family instead of as his family.
In Soviet Russia, road for you.
Oh my god. Anywho, I think Volkan is just. I mean, the dude showed he's facing the highest of level competition across his UFC tenure. It doesn't get any more difficult than the run of names that Volkan's fought. And I think Bogdan's just getting way too much too soon. They needed some random mofo that had a visa to go to Paris. And they were like, listen, Volkan, what is he? He's Swiss, right? Yeah.
Volkan?
He's close to the region. Yeah. So anyways, this dude, they got to give him a shot here. I mean, they threw him up there against Nikita Krylov. They threw him up against Magomed Ankalaev, against Yuri Prochazka, against Dominic Reyes in his prime, against Anthony Smith, against Daniel Cormier. I mean, his wins, Paul Craig, Alexander Rakic, the Toad, Manuel. I mean, sure, he's not getting finishes on the highest level of opponents, but I don't think Bogdan's the highest level of opponent. And the type of strikes he was landing on Krylov in round 1 last time, Bogdan doesn't outlast that onslaught. So I got Volkan here. There's no time on our hands. You got to get him in a parlay. And I'll tell you who the other leg is later in the show.
Yeah, I think you did an excellent job breaking this one down. Guskov, you also, one thing you did miss, though. Guskov coming in on short notice here, right? Volkan was supposed to fight Azamat Murzakanov.
Oh, shit.
Yes. And
I completely missed that in my scouting. So, Guru, 10 points to Gryffindor.
10 points to Gryffindor. It's all right. On Hogwarts game, I'm actually a Slytherin, but it's all right.
Shout out, Jenna. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining.
Always appreciate you. Yeah. I didn't like anything I really saw from Bogdan Guskov. I'm not even sure he'll make another UFC fight after this. He's from Uzbekistan, fighting out of Russia. He's got some fight-changing power. God, man, this is some questionable competition. He's got 14 finishes of 14 fights, right? 12 knockouts, 11 round 1 finishes, 11 of them. So, point being, if you need to, you take Bogdan round 1 KO as a not even grandma's couch cushion hedge, like the littlest something there.
No, that's gross because Volkan's not even ever been knocked out in round 1.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even really going to happen. Like,
that's gross.
It is gross. I don't even think it's going to happen. You watched him fight a fucking savage, and Nikita Krylov has so many round 1 finishes. He survives the striking. He survives the grappling. He puts on it. Listen, he loses the fight, but man, he showed some toughness. He even survives to round 2 versus Yuri Prochazka, and everybody was picking Jiri round 1. So I think Volkan gets it done here. I think he's fairly safe. I think he's dangerous. He might even finish this fool. Might be no time city. So, like to see. I always like Volkan, so I like to see him get it done. They were trying to fast track him. I remember that. Those are good times. I just remember watching him knock out Jimmy Manuwa, and I was just like, God damn, who is this guy? And then they put him versus Daniel Cormier, and it was like, okay, that didn't work out.
Not ideal from a marketing perspective, unless your name's Daniel Cormier. Things worked out nicely for him.
No, yeah, he loved that matchup. Nom.
Volkan's probably one of my more confident plays this week as far as favorite picks.
Yeah, he literally is a title challenger. Yeah, that's what that was so. I remember that they literally hyped him up so fast and just fed him to DC. I remember that. That was really funny. You weren't watching then,
right?
2018. It's been a long time. I'm an old man.
All right. Well, here it is. The first of our switcheroos. We got the new matchup here. William Gomis. Oh boy. What is he? Black Panther? Or he had some kind of nickname, right?
That's
no, because it's not in here. Is he the Jaguar?
It's Jaguar.
Oh, see, I knew it was a cat. I was close.
Yeah, but you said Black Panther.
I mean, come on. He could have just been the Panther, but I'm sorry. I would like TB. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize. Yeah, hopefully the judges aren't swayed by the home crowd if Rose fight goes to decision. It's going to be a sketchy split. Any thoughts about Manon from DK perspective? The fight's going the distance, and Manon's going to land volume. Zhang Wei Li landed volume on Rose. Andrade landed volume on Rose. So even if Rose wins, like she's probably going to have some volume landed. They're going to strike from distance. And then, oopsies. Okay, it's William Jaguar Gomis versus Yanis, the Desert Warrior Ghemmouri. No, that's not me making a racist nickname this time. That was his own chosen nickname. Jesus Christ. So here we go. No, I'm sorry. Whatever. Anyways,
Jesus
Yanis. Yeah. Thinking more about Muhammad in this context, but anyways, we've got the Desert Warrior versus the Jaguar. And I really don't like the fact that Yanis got switched up to a higher weight class opponent here. If he was still taking someone at 135, I would be a little bit more inclined and okay with it. But I feel like Gomis here, he's shown to have good striking defense, never been finished on the feet. And if anything, I mean, Ghemmouri is going to look to get the grappling going. Anytime he's kind of been even with someone on the feet, he looks to clinch, looks to wrestle. And I mean, he's been successful. And even against bigger guys, it's just, I mean, Gomis is going to be significantly bigger. Like, he's not just going to be 3 inches taller and God knows how many more inches of reach, but he's also probably going to be the substantially thicker guy. If I see a face-offs that Ghemmouri, all that paper stuff is Jamocha, then yeah, okay, I might be considering the dog shot here at plus 210. Gomis, both of his fights in the UFC have gone to decision, one a majority decision and one a split decision. I'm not playing him at minus 258 as a parlay piece. It's not happening, not in this economy, not for someone who's not only not won by finish, but he's only won by split or majority decision in the UFC. So, yeah, I mean, things get a little crazy here sometimes. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us. And what up, Kyle? Happy belated birthday, might I say? I feel like I saw a tweet the day after, so I felt weird tweeting it, but what's up, dude? Happy belated. And then yeah, of course. You know what it is, Ghost. So Guru, what do you got on this fight? Because I'm gonna reluctantly pick Gomis, but I feel like I could be swayed to the dog side based on the face-off.
Swayed to the dog side.
You do it.
I sense dogness in you, sir. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck. Listen,
I was the evil emperor.
Yeah, that. You look like Palpatine, you sick fuck. You got them saggy balls. Yeah, I hate that when we constantly sound the same, but I am reluctantly taking William Gomis here, or Gomis. I think he's got a really multi-layered striking approach that's really awkward and difficult to deal with. And you saw Francis Marshall really struggle with that. Not that he's excellent. You also saw Jarno Aaron struggle with that. Not that he's excellent, but you see somebody in Yanis Ghemmouri. I mean, he's got some solid calf kicks, leg kicks, decent at pushing up against the cage. He's gonna, be willing to wrestle if he's not comfortable there on the feet. But I don't know. He's got a very high guard, and he is a technical striker in his own right. So if it just plays out on the feet, I'm not convinced that he's seen anything yet to be able to deal with Gomis here. And again, Gomis at home, just a tough spot for Yanis, especially again, also having to change up matchups here. They both did, but I mean, let's be real. I think Gomis gets a much easier matchup from Lucas Almeida to Ghemmouri, whereas Ghemmouri was going to have to deal with an interesting, well-rounded prospect in his own right that has some wrestling, but now has to deal with somebody legit a weight class bigger. The weird thing about Ghemmouri as well, which again, I have to see these face-offs, is that of his last 4 fights, one was at bantamweight, one was at catchweight, one was at featherweight anyway. And then in UAE Warriors, he had a catchweight fight as well. So it's he's hasn't really committed to making fucking weight. And it was one of the things that I was going to be concerned about with his fight going to be at bantamweight. But now that it's going to be a featherweight, like I'm not really as concerned about him making weight anymore either. So he was somebody that seemed to be in between weight classes and kind of getting to pick and choose when he made weight. So I don't really like that either from like a competition perspective. But shit, plus 210, the size makes sense, but I still didn't necessarily think that he's going to be minus 250. Guy doesn't really have much finishing equity, does he?
No, he does not. Like, quite frankly, a lot of those wins on the regional scene, I would
And
not.
and I didn't even remember this. Shout out Tapology. He missed weight versus Francis Marshall. Did you remember that? Because I didn't.
Yes, I actually texted you it was like an even bigger issue that Gomis is not only like a weight class bigger, but that he actually even missed the weight like last time. So it's not like he's even like a small guy for the weight class. He's willing to cheat and do whatever it takes.
So give it to the French. I'm taking Gomis to get it done. Gomis round 3 decision could be an interesting look, but yeah, got to see these face-offs. And no high confidence here.
No, not on this. No, God, no. This might be another one of those potential splitties. It's got to be on the list. It's on the list.
Has to
It's,
be on the list.
it's
Just
there.
because it's going, because we feel more often than not it's going to go to decision. Which, do we have overs on this fight?
No, they
Probably
didn't
not.
post any other lines for this one. That's why I don't have it here. No overs at all yet for us. But that's what I mean, like we talked about over and over. So we're gonna move on. Please, if you haven't done the right thing already, please do the right thing. I would very much appreciate it. All you got to do is hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Obviously, we're amazing. This is a great show. We're having an amazing time. Jokes galore. You're missing out if you're not subscribed weekly for this content. So just saying, you're missing out. It's up to you if you want to join the party or not, but I recommend it. It would be fun. So appreciate all you guys in the chat. It's fair. Zach did do the right thing. I like that.
Yeah, he bought a chain like a fucking rapper. He's missing the diamond though. The chain is sick.
And he showed up on time today. So we appreciate that. Duly noted. Oh man, this is good. So we've had some shakeups in order, but this is what UFC stats and Mr. Marcel Dorf gave us most recently. We got the last pirate, Morgan Charriere, versus Manolo Zecchini, Angelo Veneziano. I think what is that? The Venetian angel or something translated to English? Angelo Veneziano, right?
I think it's
Come on, Uncle June, you should know this.
I think it's Venziano. Venziano. It's a Z.
Well, Veneziano, like there's an E in there. So Veneziano, like
no, Yeah.
Anywho,
whatever. You're saying it a little different each time, but in any event,
the last pirate, Morgan Charriere, he's minus 345.
Why couldn't the pirate go see the movie?
You tell me.
Because it was rated R.
All right. Come on.
Some dad jokes for you.
All right. So Manolo Blontim's Aviator Lens, Zecchini, plus 275. The over 2.5 at minus 105. The under 2.5 at minus 125. And just watching the tape, I mean, looking at the Tapology, I'm like, oh my God, like how did Morgan have? He has like 7 split or majority decisions between wins and losses. This dude, all he does is fight close with high-level competition. He throws nasty leg kicks, throws very well in combination, can pull off some fancy spinning stuff, mixes in offensive wrestling and top control time. It's just like, sometimes he just doesn't really do too much to distinguish himself from his opponent and leaves it to the judges to have to make a tough decision. Sometimes that's like 7 times out of his last 10 fights. Manolo, though, I feel like he's going to make this easy on the judges. He's going to be kind of running face first into some stuff. He's a little bit less patient and like well-rounded as a striker defensively. And I don't trust his gas tank over the long haul if he's forced to grapple for extended periods. He just completely loses it down the stretch. What is it, Nowitzki that he's facing? I think that was the loss. I don't know. There was a lot of Zielinski, Nowitzki. But Mr. Zecchini over here, he really didn't do a great job of maintaining any sort of real pace. And anytime he tries to put it on someone, and I mean, this guy does a great job surviving early, but unless Zecchini, he's kind of dependent on that early finish or bust. And I've seen Charriere go the distance so many times that I kind of don't even like the over in this fight, even with how many times we've seen Charriere go the distance. I kind of think he's going to finish him with leg kicks. Zecchini's calf kick defense is terrible, and that's kind of what led to his downfall against Nowitzki. One, he gasses out from the grappling, and two, like, I really don't like how he reacts or defends against the leg kicks. And I think Charriere has a clear advantage, throws him heavy, and throws him at the beginning and at the end of combos. So he's going to be using them to his advantage. I got the last pirate here, Jack Sparrow.
This is one of the big mismatches on the card, honestly, and it's clear from a gambling perspective, and I think it's clear from a tape perspective. Morgan Charriere, somebody with unbelievable. Yeah, listen, we got some, we got some
appeal.
We got some appeal. You know what I'm saying? Call Justin Timberlake because we're bringing sexy back.
Oh god! Oh god!
Oh jeez. Listen, Morgan Charriere, he's somebody that is honestly pretty well rounded. Solid combination striking. He's got the leg kicks that you keep talking about there, TB. He's got opportunistic takedowns. He's mixing it up at all three levels. And somebody in Manolo Zecchini, let's just be real about Italian MMA. Like, Marvin Vettori is like an anomaly. They just don't have it there. It just hasn't really come up from there. So, and when you see Manolo fight and on the regionals, like, you get exactly that. I'm just extremely underwhelmed by what I see. It's some poor grappling defense, suspect striking defense. He's a zero off his back. He's unable to get up. He's heavy on he's flat footed. So it makes it even worse to absorb these calf kicks that are definitely coming. He's giving up, I think he might be a little bit smaller than Charriere in the reach. I feel like Charriere is going to be a little bit more of a physical specimen. You guys are like popping off in the chat right now.
I love you guys in the chat right now.
You guys are going crazy. Yeah, Zach, you're literally the producer of the fucking Timberlake track with that chain. Don't even play. You're literally
he's
like
the new Timberland.
No, he's the new Scott Storch.
Oh baby.
Oh baby.
A lot of threats and meetings
and spaghetti. But yeah, like, nah, it's not great. So I like Morgan Charriere here, and I think he's a solid parlay piece.
Yeah, I'm not going to put him in my Volkan parlay. I like someone else with Volkan, but I am going to reuse the Charriere is going to be a parlay piece here.
Oh, and that's what I wanted to say. I actually do like the under 2.5 as well, like kind of you were alluding to, TB, because Charriere has really only lost by decision, 8 decision losses. But man, does this guy get finishes. He's got 7 round 1 finishes. And then you on the other side for Mr. Zucchini Pasta over there, he's got 9 round 1 finishes, and he's been finished twice. Once in round 1 and once in round 2. So he's not afraid to get finished. And I think Morgan's going to go pillage his village. What do you think? In the chat over there.
Yeah, guys, what are you popping off? I really appreciate all you guys here joining the show. Lou, Jenna, Jew, Daz, Zach.
Listen, we may not be the most profitable MMA Twitter show, but I promise you, we are the fucking funniest.
We're up there. We're up there. I don't know.
We're pretty funny.
I don't know, dude. Lou and Monk's show is pretty hilarious.
That's unhinged. That's mental. That's the mental hospital. That's different.
Oh my god. The Cornolle Zucchini underdog parlay. Not that it can win, but it's an awesome idea.
Can I tell you, TB? The only thing I keep thinking of when I see Cornelle's last name is the cornballer from Arrested Development.
Yes.
That's the only thing I keep thinking of.
Don't touch it.
No touching.
Oh my god. Oh yes.
Wait, dude, no, not his fucking his videotapes, the self-help tapes, Caged Wisdom.
Yes.
If you guys haven't watched Arrested Development, please go watch it. So classic.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Uncle June, you better be careful. We got Uncle June MMA in the building.
Yeah, I'll get pissed off. I'll shoot my nephew.
Hey, listen, Ghost, it's about both. Mr. Guru here. I was on a run before. I kind of lost my run at the top, but now Mr. Guru here. What, 4 weeks in a row on Mr. Brian XBL on Twitch's leaderboard standings? Our picks
Listen,
are fire, dude. I'm just saying, we're hilarious too.
TB never really had the makings of a varsity athlete.
I mean, did you?
Quite frankly, it was. Listen, I'm Uncle June, baby. We weren't talking about my varsity athlete days. We're talking about yours.
Oh my god, that's good. That's a throwback right there. All right, so we got Taylor Double Impact Lapilus versus Caolan the Don Loughran. The Don, 31 years old, making his second stint in the UFC. Taylor Lapilus versus Caolan Loughran, 27 years old, coming off of Cage Warriors, 4-0, making his debut, the bantamweight champion. Got a kickboxing background, willing to mix in his takedowns. Lapilus, I mean, the dude is a striker, but he's got some submissions too. So I like his defensive abilities on the feet, able to kind of stay at range. He's really improved, especially on his recent regional run, even mixing in a round 3 knockout over our boy Nathan Manus in TKO. I mean, I really have been impressed with Taylor Lapilus's recent run, and I think Caolan Loughran, he's going to need to mix in and use the heavy wrestling approach here, because I have a feeling he's going to be at least at a little bit of a reach disadvantage and at least a decent bit of an experience advantage as well. Lapilus, he could get wrestled here, though. He could get cage pushed, and I think that I think Loughran could land some big shots, but he's much heavier on his feet, heavy on his front foot, more of a boxing stance, and I think Lapilus should be able to kind of dig into those calves over the time. And yeah, I favor Lapilus as well, but no, I'm not betting it at -170. You know what to say, Lou. You know what the vibes are. But yeah, what I do like is this fight to go the distance. I feel like we've got a closely contested matchup. It's just a question of which guy's going to mix in. Either Loughran's going to get to his wrestling, or Lapilus should be able to working from distance. But I don't have a line on the over unders yet. So this is the other switcheroo. So yeah. Taylor was not supposed to fight Caolan.
I really like the fight to go the distance here. I think it's might be one of my favorite bets of the entire card. Yeah. You've got somebody in Lapilus who is unbelievably athletic. I don't even necessarily understand why was outside the UFC. I don't know. He's 3-1 in his UFC career, and they didn't re-sign him. Like, what the fuck? Why? How is that fair? So, yeah. Somebody that's really athletic. He's a solid striker. He's got variety to his takedowns. He's got this unbelievably athletic takedown defense where he's using underhooks, and he's just really strong, and he's got a wide base. It's pretty impressive. I mean, it's not necessarily.
Do you want to say he has a big ass?
No.
You said he has a wide base. Do you want to say he has a big ass?
No, I'm saying that he spreads his legs apart and keeps a fucking wide base.
Oh God.
Yo, you need to fucking chill out, dog. Like, what is happening right now? Jeez Louise, you need to calm down. You need to turn off that screen before you start jerking off on Zoom like that guy. What's that fucking politician's name? Everybody's done
my God. All right.
Anyway, we're getting off the trails. Look what you fucking did. Listen, I honestly thought Loughran was one of the more fun prospects I got to watch this week. Thank you for pausing that for us. I mean, he's literally crazy. Loughran has these his own basic 1-2 striking, very simple, nice fundamentals. He's got really good timing on his takedowns. He's got solid top control. He uses the body triangle to keep his opponents down. He's using wrist control. He's got good scrambles. Loughran's a really decent prospect, man. The big problem with him, right, is his questionable striking defense, and he's kind of too willing to get into a brawl. So in that respect, if he cannot take down Lapilus, I like Lapilus to pull away here. But at -170, like you're saying, there's no reason to lay that kind of chalk. So I like fight goes the distance. I'm willing to lay the chalk on that. Obviously, Loughran is undefeated, and Lapilus, I'm all over with all the L's. Loughran is undefeated. And Lapilus is mentally undefeated in that he's never been finished. So fight goes the distance. Let's get it.
Oh God! All right,
All I said was a wide base, and you started talking about that man's ass. Like you have problems, sir. Like you need to seek out Jesus Cristo.
I've been looking.
Like if you want to talk about a huge ass, at least talk about Ange Loosa. Like why are you going to talk about fucking Lapilus?
I don't know.
You just want to talk about asses. You're a sick man.
All right.
Anyways, talking about men's asses, we lost some live viewers in the chat. Look what you did.
All right. Well, hey, we're on to our next fight. We got the matchup between Ange Loosa and Rhys McKee, making his UFC return. Talking about return appearances. Ange Loosa at -180, Rhys McKee at +150, over 2.5, -145, under 2.5, +114. I lean towards this fight going the distance. I think Loosa is shown to have a really good chin, good wrestling and clinch game when he needs to mix it in to survive. Rhys McKee, you can finish him on the feet, but at the same time, I mean, his finished losses have come kind of on the mat. You know, like Hamzat takes him down and gets to work. So I feel like if anything, yeah, I don't love his striking defense, but I think he could go the distance here with Ange Loosa. I kind of like Rhys McKee to win a volume battle. The distance. And yeah, I feel like McKee. I mean, it's an intriguing dog idea given the 4-inch height, 4-inch reach. He's a couple years younger. It's just Loosa. I mean, the dude is a refrigerator. He's a tank, and if anything, he's gonna be able to get inside, use a little bit of the dirty boxing, the clinch. It's just like a -180. My God, I don't want to do that. So I do like the fight goes the distance. I feel like, you know, if you want it to be a little weird and you didn't like just playing the numbers as was, you could take a look at the Lapilus, whatever that over comes out to, and parlay it to this fight with the over. I think you got a good idea. What's going on?
Interesting. Yeah, I was surprised to see Ange Loosa is such a heavy favorite here, if I'm just being honest. We picked him as a dog in his last fight over AJ Fletcher, so I was quite happy with that. I just
He was a dog?
He was a dog. He was a sizable dog.
The big bad dog?
He was the dog, the big bad dog. Yeah, we got all the South Park references.
Oh wow, he was +145. You're right.
Yeah, man, we cashed on that one. I remember cashing on that.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, man. I really like the over here. Over 2.5, -145. I think a fight goes the distance is really fair. Again, Ange Loosa, a guy that just has not been finished before, right? And Rhys McKee is somebody that, you know, honestly, all his wins have come by finish, which is kind of a little concerning if you actually like McKee here to get it done, because you need him to basically get a finish, which he took in his last fight. He's fighting a 40-year-old guy in Jim Wallhead, and it takes him to round 4 corner stoppage. Like, it just was like he's just kind of very patient and willing to just kind of stand up straight and 1-2 jab, 1-2 jab. He probably could be the minute winner here if the fight stays on the feet. I just think Ange Loosa is fucking dirty. Like, he's going to crash forward. He's good with dirty boxing. He's going to be willing to mix up the takedowns. And if Ange Loosa could just fucking put on his wrestling shoes, like if I was in his corner, man, I'd be like, yo, let's just, then for sure, if he was just going to wrestle, like if I knew he was going to shoot 3 or more takedowns, I actually would play him -180, because I don't think Rhys McKee can stuff any fucking takedowns. And I don't care if Rhys McKee goes on a 6-fight win streak in the UFC. After just watching his original UFC run, I'll never get behind this guy. He just got beaten the piss out of by Morono and we understand getting smashed by Chimaev, but smashed by Chimaev, he's just kind of like made a bad first impression with me. So not really a fan of Skeletor. I like Ange Loosa, but don't love him at this price. I almost kind of want to take Ange Loosa like after he drops round 1 or something, like maybe a live betting opportunity. But I like fight going the distance for sure.
Yeah, I love it. That's it. Next fight. We got the cornhole master herself, Nora Cornolle, versus
Cornballer.
Nora the cornballer, Cornolle. Or does she have a real nickname? No. Versus the other Panther on this card, Joselyne La Pantera Edwards. That's Panther as well. Shout out her and Gomis trying to be matching friends.
No. Gomis is a jaguar, not a panther.
Oh my god, this is terrible.
You're so racist. Let it go. God damn.
Oh my god, that's bad. All right. Anyways, Nora, her claim to fame is she fought who's making her short notice appearance later on this card, Jacqueline Cavalcanti, back in 2021.
I believe it's pronounced Cavatelli.
Oh, it wasn't Capolini. That was pretty good. Nora, I feel like she's like aggressive. She'll come forward, throws heavy, can mix in some kicks. She like goes for these disgusting body lock head and arm throw takedowns where like she gives up her back completely to attempt it. And that just didn't work well against Cavalcanti, who was like a legitimate, fighter that had real size. And I mean, Joselyne Edwards, she's got some legitimate grappling holes, but I feel like she's going to be the better striker from distance here. So we're kind of banking on Nora to get her offensive wrestling game going. And I just don't love the way that she approaches it on a consistent basis. So originally I was like, ooh, I see like plus money on Nora. Let me get in on that, knowing I would have the ability to cash out. So I'm going to take advantage of that ability. And I'm going to be looking into the Joselyne Edwards sides because I feel like, listen, we can argue about whether or not she's 4-2 in the UFC, but she's at least 3-3. Even if you say she lost to Lucy Pudilova,
she lost to Lucy Pudilova. That was one of the big robberies of the entire year.
Fair enough, but yeah. So I'm thinking that Joselyne Edwards is Joselyne Edwards should be able to just win one of her boring point fighting decisions where like she might land a couple of nice shots occasionally, but I mean Cornolle hasn't been finished.
I just think that if Cornolle gets any sort of grappling game going, it's a problem for Joselyne Edwards. I just don't know. Like, yeah, she's athletic and tall, but like once she gets taken down, it's a big problem. And that's like was the thing with the Pudilova fight. Like, I just weird fucking fight, man. I really thought that I felt really good. And I'm pretty sure she closed as a favorite too. Like Lucy Pudilova won that fucking fight.
Bro, Nora's 34 years old.
It's a bad
7 years older, and she's going to be shorter. And I can only imagine she's going to be at a reach disadvantage once we actually, if they're not going to be at the apex, so we're not going to get
a speed disadvantage as well. She looked really slow. There was really nothing on the tape from Nora that I was like, oh wow, this is UFC caliber. Yeah. This is exciting. Like, there's just nothing there. She's just a savage. Like, she's just some sick fuck that likes to fight. Like,
she's from France. That's why she's on this card. Yeah, they needed some bodies that didn't need visas, and she's going to fill that spot. I think that Edwards actually might win this fight here. I got Edwards as my pick, but please don't like lay actual real.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the question, though. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
Preguntame.
Joselyne Edwards has missed weight 2 fights in a row. If she makes weight here, are we concerned? If she misses weight here, are we concerned? How do we feel?
Not concerned at all unless she like is pulling a who you call it
Ghostbuster.
No, the armbar queen. Who was it? My girl that almost like completely lost it on the scales.
Julia Stoliarenko?
Yeah, Julia. If she pulls a Julia, I'll be concerned. But other than that, I've seen her miss weight and be fine. So
all right. Moving on.
All right.
Here
he is. Farid Bash Brother Basharat versus Clayton. I couldn't make weight.
So I'm moving up a weight class.
Rodriguez. He's got a longer nickname. But I mean Farid Basharat. 3. Yeah, Clayton. I couldn't make weight, so I'm moving up a weight class. Rodriguez.
His nickname is KR.
That's a pretty long nickname. But Farid Ferocious I like Bash Brother better, but Basharat, Ferocious Farid, the Bash Brother Basharat, he's not necessarily the most prolific finisher per se, especially his last two fights having gone the distance. But I think his size advantage here, and I think what we're going to see is a bit of a grappling deficiency on the Rodriguez side. We could see the opportunity for Farid Basharat to get his first UFC finish. And I think the submission is the most likely path. He's not going to want to play around on the feet from distance with Clayton. So if there was anybody that I was looking to get a submission play on this week, which these assholes at DraftKings haven't given us prelim props yet, but this is one guy I'm looking to get that submission prop on, possibly a round 2, round 3 type of idea. And also Farid Basharat's going to be the second leg for 2 of my parlays. Most confident straight pick on the card, so I'm going to treat him as such. I parlayed him to my other most confident pick, Volkan Oezdemir, and my other most confident pick, the last pirate, Morgan Charriere. So Farid, get as much money as you can in all different types of ways. Huge size advantage fighting in his actual weight class. In fact, he could probably be at featherweight, whereas Clayton, like, learn how to cut weight. I mean, you should be at flyweight. So, Guru, what do you got here? You deviating from your boy?
Deviating from no. In this fight, what the fuck? Farid Basharat should really get it done everywhere. I mean, he's the better Basharat too, so I'm very excited to see him fight here. His brother should be fighting soon, right? Yeah, I like it everywhere. I just don't know where Clinton needs to clip him. Clinton needs to knock him out. He doesn't have much experience. He certainly has no experience fighting at this weight class. And I think Farid is just kind of going to be better everywhere. It's a problematic matchup. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that parlay. I'm in on it as well. I'm probably going to I might just, like you said, I'm going to probably add, because I got a unit and a half out on just Volkan and Farid at plus money. That's no longer available, I believe, due to the line movement of the card itself. You know what I'm saying? So, actually, it's still plus money on Bet365, which is kind of crazy. So yeah. I might add Morgan Charriere in there as well, get a little bit more plus money, because I really like him too.
Yeah, I do think Javid is better.
Fuck. Yeah, he is the better Basharat.
The better Basharat.
Yeah, the Snow Leopard is the better Basharat, not Ferocious. Yes. My bad, everybody. I'm such a fucking idiot. Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, so
I feel very stupid.
Yeah.
You know what it is between the Bomb Fiend brothers and the Basharat brothers, like, and the Dawkins brothers, and you know,
the Dookie Bros. All right,
exactly. And the Hardley boys. It's a lot of brothers to keep together.
There's a lot to keep track of.
It's a lot of young whippersnappers to keep together.
All right, so we got. Oh man, the one all my friends have been talking to me about all week. This is the one that everyone's been waiting for. And it never ends. We've got Infinite Zara Fairn versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. She kind of looks like Ronnie from Jersey Shore in that picture. Yeah, so Zara Fairn, I think, has kind of gotten the shit end of the stick from a matchmaking perspective in the UFC. Megan Anderson and then Felicia Spencer, both at 145. Then she moves down, fights Joselyne Nunes at 135, and actually puts on a hell of a performance. I thought there was an argument that she could have gotten that decision victory. It's just Joselyne ended up on the front foot a bit more in round 2 and 3, and kind of like, superwoman punching her way to success. So those, the big strikes. Zara Fairn, she came out on the losing side, but she lands over 100 strikes in that matchup. And she comes out on fire. I mean, it looked like Nunes was about to be put to sleep. I mean, that's someone that's
never. It was like a fucking pride fight. That's like fucking. It was one of the worst fights I've ever seen. I can't believe we even bet Joselyne Nunes. We've had way too much money on her. That was so funny.
So, can I tell you, don't put your money on Jacqueline Cavalcanti here. Do not do it. Right. I know she's younger. I know Fairn, whatever, but like the size, it's going to be close to even. Fairn is going to throw with volume. And they got the catch weight. if she comes in looking like she's on weight, like this is going to be one of the closest, sketchiest decision fights that I
Dude,
can
not
imagine
only
on this
that,
card.
here's the sneaky part. Are you ready for this? Fairness French. It's not Cavalcanti who's actually the home crowd from Portugal. It's Farron who's from France.
And
She's
Cavalcanti, short notice.
right. So, and like you're just saying, she's this plus 300 fucking dog that, yeah, she's really not very good at all. And like our boy Zach is saying, probably going to be on UFC roster watch on Tuesday when she loses the fight. She's going to come out and fight for your plus 300. Problem is after 2 minutes into round one, she'll be probably plus 800. So you can take another chance. But the pick is Cavalcanti. I have absolutely no horse in this race. And again, like this whole card, I mean, you said it perfectly. This was Dana White Contender Series 2.0. I mean, there's some high level stuff on top, but boy, oh boy, is there some randomness scattered throughout here.
Yeah. I mean, this thing fell apart at the seams. There were a few other matchups that were supposed to be together. Saved us a little bit of tape, but yeah, ultimately, the most important thing, really appreciate all you guys in the chat. I mean, this show wouldn't be as good as it is if we didn't have the support of all you guys in the community. And it means so much to have the support of other content creators and other just fans of MMA betting content, or people that just like to come in, talk some fights, shoot the shit, and have a good time, because that's what we're all about here. And honestly, wouldn't be the same without all you. So if you haven't done it, do the right thing. Please throw a like on the video. You don't know how much it helps us. Really helps recommend it to other people. If you haven't subscribed already, you're messing up, but I'll forgive you if you fix that right now. Please subscribe. On the countdown to 500 subscribers. And yeah, other than that, really looking forward to just chilling, watching the fights this weekend. Probably catch a nice dinner after, chill, something like that. So I'm looking forward to, a little baguette and red wine to watch these fights this week. Guru, what do appreciate you, Michael. Hell yeah. And Heather, let's shoot the shit in cash. Love that. Appreciate you guys. Guru, why don't you go ahead, take us away, my friend.
Take me away, take me away. That secret face, that secret place, the sweet escape.
The sweet escape.
Take me away.
Take me away.
Awesome, guys. What a great card. Really excited to be TB, you want to do some OJ and Champagne, since it's from the region of France over there?
Oh, only if it's a capital C from the region. It's the Champagne region of France.
Yeah, we're not gonna do no sparkling wine. We're gonna do that Champagne.
Champagne.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. We'll do a little bit of that since we'll get together early. That'll be fun. Yeah, man, we love it. We're in the midst of this fucking crazy streak. We don't have a week off till I think the last week of September. So God. 4 or 5 left. We're getting there. We're getting there though. Next week, Israel Adesanya taking on Sean Strickland down under. Pay-per-view. Unbelievable. We've got Andrew Gomis in the building. Can't wait for that. Gonna be exciting. Yeah, and then we're gonna remember Monday, 9 p.m. Dana White Contender Series. We were terrible this past week, but we'll do better. Can't be as bad as we were last week, so we'll get it back this week for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's it. TV, anything else? I'm gonna take it away. That's what you asked me to do before. All right, so make sure you're following my unbelievable co-host, that little juicy gibbler over there. That little salty sausage up top there. Make sure you're following TB Scouting MMA on Twitter, Verdict, Instagram, and Tapology. I don't know where my head's at right now.
Yeah, I was like, what was that?
I don't know. And make sure you're following me, the Guru Scouting MMA. I don't know, Corrado MMA. I don't know what's happening today. Make sure you follow me, Verdict, on X, on Facebook. Why is there Facebook there? We never say Facebook. Twitter, Instagram.
We're there.
We are on Facebook. Nobody follows us there because I don't know. But listen, guys, thank you so much. This was a fun one, a quick one. Guest, had to move on last minute, but we'll get it back for y'all next week and hopefully for the rest of them. God, what awesome guys. Listen, stick with us on Twitter because we stay active on there probably the most. So take care, brush your hair, subscribe, share it around, like them up.